everyone. Happy Friday. I was wondering when everybody thought it was a good time for celebrities to retire. I feel like we're in this weird era of some people aging out, right? And I don't think it's a matter of age. I think it's a matter of, becoming stale and then trying to force it. Milking out a certain energy that just might not be there anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like we had this 90s, early 2000s era of celebrity that was just very different, right? Because we had newer, different forms of technology coming into the mix. I think it's going to be real interesting for people in 100 years to study. TVs were pretty new in the 20th century, okay? And then you move on to us becoming a little bit more connected every single decade, right? And that calls for people to reach a certain level of fame. And there are some people who reached a level of fame without anything, like even with the amount of technology we have now, there are some people that just don't have the level of fame that, say, Michael Jackson did, right? And then you have people like Beyonce, who I don't think she is close to retirement. I don't think she has to. And I think that's why a lot of her peers want her to. I think that's why a lot of her haters might want her to. I was thinking about this just right now when I was setting up, about how that woman, I think the reason she doesn't have to retire is because she doesn't engage, she doesn't yearn for the validation of the outside, right? I think a lot of her validation is internal. I think a lot of her love songs that she writes, I don't think they're about her, the father of her children. I think they're about herself, right? And the person that she tries to be. And I feel like she doesn't have to sit there and retire because she's always focused on the art. And that's just not something, that's something that some people are just never gonna pick up, right? And then you have people like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, I'm talking about people in pretty recent events in the media, but it's like, you see Ryan Reynolds, he's the person that got me thinking about this topic. I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks. I think he's aged out. He's been in movies and he's the same person in the same movie over and over and over. And then, his wife gets into a movie, they completely take it over and they've ruined it. There's now a horrible court case to it. The movie, there are a lot of women who love the book, and I think the movie could have been good, but these people overtook it because of the power that they may have obtained in Hollywood. And then they want to milk that out, right? It's like when it comes to the question when celebrities should retire, it's like you might be stale, but you're holding on to things. What if it is capitalism, right? Do these people still need the money? I think probably 80% of the time that's not the case. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they need the money. I think a lot of it has to do with the ego, right? The attention from the fans. Maybe a little bit of narcissism comes in. That attention is amazing. Okay, being talked about in the media must be amazing, right? Maybe some people don't care for it. Maybe some people sit there and they're like, that's what comes with the job. I'm going to ignore it. They're talking about me. But other people, I think that we can all determine which celebrities crave it and sometimes get desperate for it. We also have to think about, American hustle culture, right? A lot of people come to the US to be famous. A lot of the times I think people say, you haven't made it until you've made it in America, right? The US. And, I think that's true. And when you come here, you're working. Retirement, it's like, I think that's something that boomers talked about. Boomer-like Gen X people, they'll talk about it as well. But millennials, Gen Z, it's pretty known that retirement just, you're gonna work, right? We're gonna need money when we're older too. When it comes to actors, right, and celebrities though, they're doing something that they obviously love. Maybe all of them don't love every aspect of it, but there's some aspect of it that they might be addicted to. Sometimes it is just the money, right? Sometimes it is just the attention, I think. And, that's where the ego comes in. Maybe that's why they keep doing it. And when it comes to capitalism, being in late stage capitalism, sometimes you're doing things in late stage capitalism, it's not quality anymore, right? You're just trying to put out a single. You're just trying to put out an album. And it's like, you who've gotten so much attention and you have all of these diehard fans, you think that just because you put out whatever album, it's like, oh, I'm so-and-so, so I should get a Grammy. So I should be rewarded for anything I do, right? That's where I think we're at in our society. That's what I think we're watching. I think it's blatantly obvious to me that this is what we're watching. And I think sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. Just because you're so-and-so doesn't mean you're gonna receive an award. And then a lot of people end up getting mad over that for you. And then, certain characteristics come out from certain groups of people, right? We've got racism, we've got misogyny, we've got all of that stuff that people, it would seem like they almost look for opportunity to portray those things. Okay. Either way, another thing that I think might keep celebrities from retiring might be nostalgia. And I was thinking forced nostalgia, right? It's like the way we feel about the 90s and the early 2000s. Maybe some people are trying to milk that a little more. I feel that way with, up and coming celebrities who try to emulate people from, the 20th century, the 90s, early 2000s. Sometimes I feel like, we want something new at the end of the day. Like there just doesn't, you're not going to blow up by paying homage, right? Homage. Is that how you say it? To the greats. That's not how you're going to blow up. You can pay homage all you want to, but right, everybody wants something new from you. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of these older celebrities that may be, like dying off of the front lines of popularity, I feel like they try to cling on to a little bit of nostalgia, when in all actuality, sometimes maybe it is just best for you to leave us with the image of you in your prime, rather than ruining your image with what you're giving us now. It's like some people, they get worse with age. And I think a lot of people who've maybe taken care of their parents in older age, or maybe they're, you even talking to your parents, and as they get older, we're all growing, we're all getting older. You go and you spend some time with your parents, And you realize that, you know, they're getting a little bit worse in their thinking and in their mentalities with age. I know for a fact that my parents would be canceled if they were famous right now, right? It's just sad to see a lot of these older celebrities, these celebrities who are getting older, right? And you know, they're hitting their 40s, 50s, 60s, and I don't think that's old. I think your 30s and 40s are still very relatively young. But there's just gotta be a different aspect that goes into things. Once you're hitting your 40s and you were real famous, but you know, maybe now things are dying down a little. It's like, are you happy about maybe being able to recluse a little bit and enjoy the family that you've built, enjoy the wealth that you've earned? Or are you clinging to the past in some sort of way, right? Are you clinging to the attention that you're losing? Because there's always going to be new people that want to be famous, new models, right? New actresses, new creatives, new designers. It's just new that's coming in. And I think we all should benefit from these new creatives, these new artists, these new actors and singers. I think all of them should have a chance. I do believe, however, that there are going to be some people that should retire when they die. Do you get what I'm saying? Just because they're so honed in on the craft, right? It's like my pediatrician, he didn't retire until he died. He was amazing. He was so caring, right? That's why me and my brothers knew our mom's name and her phone number and her work number when we were little, because we knew that he was going to test us. Do you know what I mean? It's like one time we were in this waiting room and the mother and daughter that were there, the daughter was a lot older than me and I was young. But the mom was like, yeah, I've gone to this guy. He was my pediatrician. I went to him till I was like, I think she said like 25 or something, right? And now her daughter's, you know, reaching 18. It's just like so comfortable, right? I went to the doctor after him, very uncomfortable. Like, some people are just priceless in the way that they do things, in the way that they carry themselves, in their work, in their art, in their craft, right? I don't think they ever need to retire. And I think that they could really provide guidance to the new people that come in. Because sometimes with all that new, especially with young kids growing up in capitalism, for the most part, late stage capitalism, a lot of the times they might not know too much about, you know, old style quality in certain realms of whatever you're doing, right? Whatever work you're putting out. So yeah, you do need older mentors. You shouldn't force it at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's like, are you there because you love what you do? You love your craft? Do you love how it touches people? Or do you like the amount of money the people are going to give you to? It's just, that seems inauthentic. It seems like it's always going to end up being inauthentic. Who's somebody that I think keeps putting out authentic and true to self art? A lot of people amongst you aren't ever going to be able to answer that, because stan culture ruins this, right? And I think we're even having to have this conversation because of stans, right? Stans are the people who give these celebrities addiction, I think, right? Stans are the people who give these celebrities, they enable these egos and this narcissism, and oh, my celebrity can do no wrong, and you know, I'm going to send death threats to whoever questions my celebrity and all of that. And it's just like, relax. Not that serious. If these people, you can always enjoy what your celebrity did. But do you want them to keep giving you things even if it is shit? Right? It's just, and a lot of these people amongst us would say yes to me. They would answer my question, yeah. I want them to be run into the ground. I don't want them to take breaks. I don't want them to, have children. I might not even want them to get married, because sometimes it is like just this weird parasocial relationship that's just borderline, something's wrong, right? But yeah, I think we're even having to have this conversation because of stan culture. All of these people, all of these celebrities, a lot of them, they get into this line of work and they want a certain image of themselves. And, once you get that hit, once you get a certain level of following to where it's like, all right, you've got enough followers to where whatever you do, you're always going to have people who don't know you defending you. That's real harmful a lot of the times. Do you get what I mean? I think when you look at people like Beyonce, it's like she loves her fans, but it is very much like you are my fans, right? And I'm giving you this art, but I'll give you what I give you and you'll like it. Other people, it's like, new movie, guys, new movie. And it's just like, we get it. And we know what the movie's gonna be because you portray the same person, which is yourself, all the time. And that works out for a lot of actors, right? I think that works out for some people. You know who I like it a lot on? Jason Bateman. Do you know what I mean? I love it on him, right? Who's that other guy? He's in like 4 Christmases, and he's also in Couples Retreat. You know who I really appreciate, I think, is Zendaya and Tom Holland. They're kind of moving towards the same area where it's like they've built their wealth. Everybody pretty much knows who they are. They give us what they give us, but they've also started to talk about retirement. And they've started to talk about, when we start having kids, I think that might be it, y'all. That might be it. It's just, we're going to enjoy our lives. We're going to not be working, right? I think those people understand that their work is their work and it's not their lives. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I can appreciate celebrities like that. I almost respect them more, or respect them at all for that. I personally just don't understand stan culture. I cannot understand liking people that much. I can't comprehend liking every single album somebody puts out, right? I'm not, it was just this past 2024 that I listened to full albums when things came out. Normally, I'd just listen to a song and really like that song. I listened to a lot of albums because a lot of albums were coming out last year. And I listened to Taylor Swift's, and I listened to Billie Eilish, and I listened to Brat, and I listened to Cowboy Carter, and then I went and listened to Renaissance because I'm like, it's Beyonce, I should be listening to these albums. And then I go and listen to Lemonade because that's the one everybody talks about. And I think Lemonade would have been 10 times better if she would have left that man, right? But I think at the end of the day, she is human, and sometimes a lot of us just want to keep up images. We have this image in our mind. I mean, hell, a lot of people around us sit here and stay with their loser boyfriends and baby daddies because, why? He's not even a billionaire. Like, do you get me? He didn't even groom you. Like, why are you staying with him? He treats you and your kids like shit. But hey, we're all human. And sometimes we all want to keep up a certain image. I mean, a lot of these women will stay with men who, these women know that these men are going into their kids' bedrooms at night. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just like there's a lot of criticism for a certain few celebrities that I find it interesting. Either way, I think Beyonce is she's who I think about. I don't think she's ever gonna have to retire, but I think she could. I think whenever she'd be ready, she'd be able to say, fuck y'all. I'm out. Enjoy what I've given you. But yeah, I'm gonna spend some time with my family. You won't be seeing me, right? She doesn't have to be on those red carpets. She never is anymore, right? She doesn't have to appear in movies. She doesn't have to do any of that shit, really. She makes her art. She puts it out. If she's up for an award for it, she'll show up. Do you get what I'm saying? But I think that's why everybody loves her so much. Because everybody knows that, yeah, she can decide that she's done at any moment. Versus other celebrities, it's like, we can be mean to them, we can cancel them. They're still gonna be begging us for attention. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the general public can always just sniff out inauthenticity and authenticity. And a lot of the times, when the general public senses that authenticity from people that might not look like them, people that the collective has a certain resentment for, there's going to be hostility. Do you get what I'm saying? There's going to be underlying racism, and there's going to be gaslighting to the people who are calling it out. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to these celebrities and when should celebrities retire, I think as normal people watching them, right? Normal people consuming their content and consuming their art, it's always going to be okay to not be loyal to them. To be able to sit there and say, you know, maybe the highest form of love and loyalty is admitting, yeah, maybe it's time to hang it up, right? A lot of y'all can't do that. And I think that's a foundational problem in a lot of things. A lot of us don't know when to let go of jobs, of relationships, of your favorite celebrities. That's why there is so much misery in the world, because then you're getting hostile over the fact that people are telling you maybe some things need to change, but you're addicted to those emotions. You're addicted to misery. And I think a lot of these celebrities are addicted to misery. They're addicted, you know, to the stress that comes with being in the media so much. But there are a lot of celebrities. Cillian Murphy, he's another one that just doesn't need it. And these celebrities end up being pretty mysterious. And there's an allure to that a lot of people just don't get, right? Either way, something I've been wanting to talk about for a couple weeks. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know. Let me know who else you think should retire. I've been slacking it on posting on TikTok, kinda, but I got kicked off of the creators program because the men were mad and they mass reported my account. But no, I'll be posting a little more on there because I've been having a lot of thoughts. So you'll be seeing me on TikTok, but yeah, I'll be seeing you Monday either way.